Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. How y'all doing today? How am I doing today? I feel good. Feeling good today. Yes, this is that coat. Yes, it is April in Chicago. Yes, I'm surprised that you're surprised. Should be expected at this time. Chicago weather just kind of does what it wants, how it wants. You know, it's kind of meaning. It's pretty depressing. But anyway, let's talk about something more depressing. Let's talk about those two pieces of scum elders that got found guilty of letting a child be abused and just, being kind of okay with it, It sucks! But anyway, before we get started, you know what to do. This is an ExJw video. Anytime you see an ExJw video, you leave a comment and you share it and you do some other stuff. I be forgetting. I be taking these breaks or whatever, for mental health reasons. And then I come back and I forget how to do my intros and stuff. But anyway, you leave a comment, you share the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Oh, your hands look terrific today. What have you been doing? Smacking beautiful things? Because your hand has beauty written all over them. I know. That's a beautiful hand compliment. There's a reason I'm complimenting your hands today, and it's for the very purpose of this video. But let's get to it. So these two elders, these pieces of crap elders, were found guilty of finding out that a child was being attacked and letting that happen for an additional 12 years. Over a decade, a child was being abused, and they were just like, didn't hear nothing, didn't see nothing, not our job to say anything. Because this is the funny part, and this is the real funny part, right? They claim that it's their job to keep the congregation clean. Jehovah Witness elders, yeah, it's their job to keep the congregation clean and safe. They'll even go, if somebody is threatening people's spirituality inside the congregation, they will give a talk where they mark them. Say, watch out for that person, they're a danger. But that's only if, that person threatens somebody spiritually. If somebody is threatened physically, then it's not their job to do anything. They don't say anything. They found out a child was being physically assaulted and they did nothing. They said nothing. And for over a decade, it continued an innumerous amount of time. Now, the person guilty of it, fortunately, went to jail once that child was old enough to protect themselves, to call and get this person arrested. But the elders, they knew about it the entire time and they said nothing. Now, in Illinois, hopefully this goes on to other cases now, it's illegal to know that somebody is about to harm themselves or somebody is a danger to themselves or other and not report that. That is illegal. I don't care what the governing body tells you to do, that's illegal. They were found guilty. Now, the part that pisses me off is that even though they were found guilty, the judge didn't throw the book at them. It kind of just said, hey, show me your hand, Pah! And that's pretty much all they got, a slap on the wrist for letting a child be attacked for over a decade. But this is the thing though, right? It doesn't even end there. You think that would be like bad enough, like, okay, well, they're found guilty, hopefully, things can move forward. But there was a bunch of Jehovah Witnesses in the audience, right? And once the trial was over, kind of after they found out that the sentence was kind of light, they felt that Jehovah protected these elders. They even cheered. They kind of cheered for, the lawyer in behalf of, doing such a good job protecting these people who protected somebody who hurts kids. But the fact that they would cheer for any part of that, really, if they've been in the courtroom and they've been hearing what happened, if they heard that a child was getting hurt, they had knowledge about it and they didn't call the police, they just let it continue to happen. And for you to have any type of feeling inside of you that would push you to cheer for that, that pretty much says all you need to know. How can you then claim that your organization is God's organization? That is something that God would be happy with. God would cheer for. I don't want to worship that God. I don't want to be friends with that God, because you see what happened was they allowed this child's safety and security to be placed inside of Jehovah's hands. Oh, those Jehovah hands. Jehovah has some of the worst hands in the world. I'm talking about they must be ashy with those little balls at the end. You know them where the nail go across the front of the freaking finger because they're weird, and they're hairy on the knuckles. And he must have some of the worst hands in the world, because while in Jehovah's hands, which the elders leave it in Jehovah's hands, while in Jehovah's hands, this child was attacked over and over and over and over and over again for over a decade. And it took the child having to do something to get it all rectified. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're a crazy individual. All right, this lady, I'm trying to be nice and let a lady go, but she's dumb, so she can't go. But I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm getting distracted by dumb people. But like I was saying, it's very simple. It's not that hard at all. You don't cheer for bad things to happen. Like, human beings, human children are probably one of the most defenseless creatures on the planet. You understand me? They need protection. And everybody knows this. This is not something that's new to anybody. Like a newborn child, it takes them 6 months just to crawl. A baby antelope can run within the first hour. You understand? Run. Takes a couple minutes to get up. They look a little drunk, but they can run within the first hour. Children have no way of defending themselves. None. So when a child is being attacked, how can you cheer for that? How can you cheer for somebody not stepping up and stopping it from happening? That means for 12 years, all they needed to do was pick up a phone. They didn't have to throw on no cape. They didn't have to leap over a building in a single bound. They didn't have to see through walls or do anything extra. All they had to do was pick up a phone and dial the authorities. That's it. They might have had to say a couple words like, hey, yeah, I know somebody's hurting the kid. But that doesn't take a lot, my G. It really doesn't. It's not that hard. And they refused to do it for over a decade. And they cheered for that. Like, the Jehovah Witnesses have a lot of problems, trust me. A lot. And I can point them out. I can point out how they misuse the Bible. I can point out how they emotionally scar and damage people. I can point out so many wrong things about that organization. Absolutely. Effortlessly. But when you hear that the so-called leaders in the congregation who self-proclaim to have the job of keeping the congregation clean and safe, for them to allow this to happen and say, oh, no, that's not our job. Calling the authorities is not our job. That should tell you everything you need to know about that organization. You're not in God's organization. I'm sorry. That's not how a good God's organization. It might be a God, but it ain't a good one. I'll put it like that. Because, I mean, like, it's not that hard. If you're claiming to be God's organization, simple things should happen. 1, kids should not be attacked. That's a gimme. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the official easy things to do in the world. Protect the kids. 2, people should be allowed to leave if they want. It shouldn't be no hostage situation. It shouldn't be no, well, you can leave, but I mean, you got to get rid of all your family and friends, but you can technically leave. No, it should be leave if you want to, come back when you want to, come and go as you please. It should be an open door policy, but it's not, and we all know it's not. But more than anything else, if you are in an organization where you can see children are being attacked and hurt, and not just physically, which is crazy. Let's not forget the mental and the emotional distress and the bullying at school, and all the list goes on and on. The hits just keep coming. You really think you a God? You think that's what your God want? Really? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. But these are things that you should think about. It's your boy, Jay the Comedian. I'm having a great day. I hope you're having a great day. Holla at your guala. Deuces.